Why, hello. Hello, hello, hi, it is me. It is I. Small town DD, you're a these your very internet. I'm back. I'm in my friend's car. Because I'm a sober legend. People are up in the house having a good time, you know, chilled, mellowed out off of that liquor. And I'm like, I did beat my face earlier. Let me try to get it's her grad. Congratulations to my friend, the same friend, the same one. I tried to vlog it again. It didn't work out. It did not work out. There's nothing I can do with the little bit of footage that I got. But I was like, okay, let me come and try to talk to you guys. So that's why the video is dingy. But you all cry when I give you voiceovers. So what can we do? What can we say? Open, honey. But I'm a sober legend. I told you guys that I collect. Do you want to say hi to my vlog?
Yeah.
Well, it's not really. You do. It's not really a vlog. It's a video. Say hi, TJ.
Hi guys.
Hi. Okay, you can tell them who you are.
My name is Tapelo Masiti, also known as TJ.
Why are you TJ?
Because it stands for Tapelo Jackie.
Tapelo Jackie, your daddy
short
name.
Yeah.
Okay. He brought me my. Thank you, Jackie. He brought me my de-alcoholized, or however you say it, because I want to feel like I'm part of the people, even though I'm not. I'm still a sober lahant. And yeah, man. And it is what it is. You guys, I remember when we had the services, and I think this was the main service for Mama Winnie Madikizela Mandela. And I remember her great grandchildren, I believe, not her grandchildren. So grandkids, kids, if I'm correct, or her grandkids, I can't remember. But they took to the mic and they were like, "Big Mama, what?" And I remember there was a little bit of judgment in the country around this issue of why that's how we would say it. Some of you ask, hey, what language is that you speak? And stuff. So not really and stuff. Period. Period. But and Waba, right? Didi, why are we talking about this? Listen, the girls were once again but listen, the girls don't rest. The girls tussle. And I love that for the girls. I love discourse. I love when it's robust. I love to watch. I feel like I'm just I don't know. I think it's the time. I guess I don't know geography. But the girls were they were at it on what is this platform? On TikTok, Zanele, I believe there was a back and forth. Well, really, Lihle said what she said about the fact that you ending up in a situation where you can't speak your home language is really just an issue of your parents being coons. And we can try to dress it up and come up with all types of excuses, this, that, and the other. It boils down to your parents are just coons, in that they were so concerned with trying to assimilate and aspire to whiteness that preserving and carrying on their language to their offspring was not of importance to them. That's how you end up in this situation. And there's really no chat around it. Now, understand that, like, we end up in these situations for many reasons, right? Like, we don't all. I feel like I keep getting darker and darker and darker, you guys. Like, I don't know, bruh. And I'm fat to this thing when I put it this way. I don't know, babe. It is what it is. Y'all say you don't want voiceovers. I bet you want them now. Oh my god, let me pause this. Guys, go kodelela for you guys. Go kodelela this thing in my eye. And when it's time for you guys to watch the ads, so I can get my glasses, because this would have damaged my eyes, you're gonna watch the fucking ads. Please. Okay. So anyway, Zanele, who is another person whom is it Zandilo Zanele, guys? I'll find both their social media and then I'll put it up on here. I forget.
It's because your parents are clever blacks. Your parents are coons, nikhuliswe clever blacks. Pelile ab.
Yes, to your point, your parents might have taught you respect for your African language and might have instilled that in you, but there's other lessons about respect and decency that are connected to Ubuntu and Africanness that were missed. And the reason I'm choosing to respond to this creator is because this video that they just posted is very much a photocopied, regurgitated, repackaged version of the dozens and dozens and dozens of attacks and insults that have been targeted towards me all day today on Twitter. Because last year I made a TikTok video about white private schools and what insidious environments they are and how they function to erase blackness and disconnect black children from their culture, and how that often ends up in children struggling to speak African languages.
But I've interacted with her content, and that I've liked, and I think I've probably left a comment from time to time and stuff, and she speaks the way she does, and but also she's addressed this issue around how she speaks. There's another lady who's based in Durban. She has an interesting accent as well, and I saved a video a while ago because I meant to come on here and talk about it. I speak the way I do, but I feel like, I don't know if this is me trying to like set myself apart from them, but I sound like a lot of the people I went to school with. So to me, I sound normal. Like, not, I don't know. There's nothing irregular about the way I speak. And so I'm always surprised when other people are surprised that I can speak my home language. Because everybody around me can speak our home language. You know, I was around a lot of Tonga speaking kids. They speak English like me, and then they can speak like Xitsonga perfectly fine. Like, yeah, by Klobedu, the children Baspedi around me speaks very, like, do you understand what I'm trying to say though? So I was always shocked when I'd get the label of coconut like put on me. So now Lihle says what she said, and you know, it will take a knock, to the system. You know, that will be a kick in the gut, if you would like. And Zanele has addressed this on previous content that she's put out about having gone to certain institutions, how in those I went to the type of schools, guys, where I went to Model C schools, right? But I went to Model C schools at a particular time, and I believe she's a bit older than me. So with her, they were probably like earlier on, like when they were doing the integration and all of that stuff. By the time we got to go to school, there'd been many people that had come through those doors, and we knew how to stand our ground a little better. All of the don't speak that language here, you can't talk like that, yeah, all of that fucking shit. We went through that. Like when you're speaking your language to your own friend on the playground, and one of like the white teachers hear you, it's almost, you're not allowed to speak that language here, this is an English school or a double medium some fucking story. Always a story, right, where like language takes on the proxy of race, so that they never have to feel the need to learn anything about you, because you're not important. You're aspiring to whiteness. There isn't a day where they're trying to step outside themselves and learn your language. You're always trying to inch closer to being them. And in so doing, shedding parts of yourselves, right? And I think from that lens, I understand. It's not like I don't understand where either one of these two women are coming from. And I felt like when the big mama happened, I was, we have a child like that in our family who has not grasped an African language, which is, the word I'm looking for is embarrassing. And I've had these conversations with my friends who now have kids about how it would be embarrassing if our children didn't know how to speak properly, because one of my friends and I always say, we remember not being able to speak English, and we communicate just fine in that language now, and we get around in the world in spaces where we need English to get around in those spaces. We get around just fine. So wanting to impose this language on your kids too early before they learn waba language is something that we've always looked at with a little bit of shame, because first of all, I'm already judged in the spaces that I walk in when I'm around Balobedu who don't know me, and they make assumptions that I probably don't speak my language very well, if at all, which is weird. Like, I really feel like you can hear that I can speak. Like, I don't know how to explain that. But it's embarrassing, you guys. Like, having a child like that, it's embarrassing. And the embarrassment stems from knowing that that's a failure on on our part as the grown-ups in the child's life and not just that of the parents. That's where the embarrassment comes from for me, of like, oh, yikes, and also a pain there, a grief, a loss of sorts, that I am cutting this child off, or I'm not doing enough to nurture this link that this child is going to have with this culture and this identity, but I get to have it, and I relish in it. I feel rich in my existence because of it. And it does feel like a robbery of sorts. It feels like we've taken something away from this child. And it did come about from the child entering school or daycare, whatever, too early. And because whiteness does not accommodate anything outside of it, all of the teachers saying things like, yeah, you're gonna have to pick a language because he's not doing this, and he's so just start speaking to him in one language, like just talk to him in English, girl, what? And then like we ran with it, right? Like we as Black people are so, we're complacent, you guys. Like we are. Instead of saying to that bitch, girl, you do your job and I'll do mine. Instead of saying that, we want to do the easiest thing. It's right next to giving the kids the overstimulating television programs. And I said I wanted to be careful around how I broach the conversation, because I understand how we get here. When Big Mama happened, when the children did their dress in English and their accents, where you could tell that there's no way these children can speak their grandmother's language. I feel like for me, with people like that, I'm like, you're more resourced than the regular person, so I will pass more judgment on you. But there's a certain type of woman or parent or household right now that's trying so hard to keep up, and capitalism is just, it's just this beast, and trying to keep everything going and still be a present enough parent is not working out for a lot of people. We get here because things are raising children, especially if those of us who can have our children and send them home, right? Like we have we're in the big city, we have our children, but we still have parents at home who can take care of these kids for us. We're very fortunate, or you guys are very fortunate, right? You take your kid home and then your kid can pick up on these things while you try to hustle and bustle and make sense of it. Then there are those who have to like carry around Zinchwana Zababona, take them with them everywhere that they go. You gotta put that kid in daycare earlier than you think you would ideally want to. You gotta get back to work as soon as you want to. You get a helper, the helper Zimbabwean, they don't speak any English, or whatever it is that's happening there. But a whole bunch of things happen, and like the period is so short. They always say with kids, like it happens in the blink of an eye. It's very, very, like you wake up and it's like Wana Konuaba. Like Wana Akonwa, but the media that they consume is in this language. So it's not like I don't understand how it can happen, because people are overwhelmed and overworked and just trying their very level best. I get that. There's a conversation for that. That said, there's also room for us to discuss the coonery. I'm afraid Zanele did make this into something that it was not. I feel like she went on to do another thing where she addressed this, and she said you can't shame her about something that she publicly brought to the fore, and she's discussed and she's worked through this and the other. I feel like sometimes we are too quick, like we put things out there to make it seem like we've worked through them, or we feel we've worked through them. And then when somebody gives a take like Lihle gave here, it forces you to go back and unpack a whole lot of stuff that maybe you didn't see things from that particular angle. Or, your parents being referred to as coons is not the nicest thing you can hear. From what I understand, I think she's actually no contact with her family, or at least something close to that. I remember her Siri around Christmas explaining that this is her third or something year that she's not spending with her family. So I don't know how she would feel about somebody not explicitly but essentially referring to her parents as coons for her ending up in a situation where she can't communicate in her mother tongue. And I don't think saying that brings into question the work she does for me. Like, honestly, it for me it doesn't. But I feel like it kicked her in the gut because maybe she hasn't worked through this the way she thinks that she's worked through it. I know we're back to wanting to discuss the coonery element of this. I know of a particular type of parent who I don't know if they felt left behind by their peers who speak the way Zanele would. Maybe I should just say me. I don't sound like Zanele though, but I'm not saying we're not worlds apart like that. But you understand what I'm saying? Maybe they looked at those people growing up, those children who had those opportunities, and felt like they've a leg up on them in life. It's not a maybe, it's what I've observed. And so when they've had kids, they don't seem to understand that. I don't know, they want their kids to be that girl that they saw growing up and they wanted to be. So and that's the coonery shit. So they're fine with their kids not picking up the language. Like, they don't see anything with it. People who say things like, oh, you're like, Clubbery won't take you anywhere in life anyway. What are you gonna do, Gaspedi? Like, it's not gonna take you far in life anyway. There are people who genuinely still think like that, like really, really think like that and truly believe that. And for the most part, a lot of them, and I hate to say this, they don't speak like me. It's the ones who made fun of me. And now when they've had their own kids, I'm now realizing, oh no, you wanted to sound like this. You wanted it because now you think it's so cute when we're on the internet and your kid can't speak your language, right? You guys do think that. You guys are in the comment sections of kids speaking in these accents and who look, mama, a pooty, right? Saying things in the comments like, oh, I need that English for my interview on Monday, can I borrow that English? That is that school fees paid for English. That's that coonery shit. I don't know why we want to run away from it now. I don't know why we want to do that. And I feel like a lot of the people who find themselves in this situation are the people who didn't get to move in white spaces young and don't have not bothered to interrogate whiteness as it is, really really immerse themselves in like an erasure of people, an erasure of self, really truly understand what a loss that would be, how much grief is there, how much we've lost already, how much we're already holding on so tightly by the fucking skin of our teeth to the little bit of like bastardized languages and customs and cultures, rites of passage, all manner of things, the little bit that we have left that they haven't clawed at as they do through many avenues, religion being the biggest one, right? The schooling system being another one. The people who don't spend time with those things, that's what the coonery is for me. That's where it is. And I'm not saying that I don't see it among smart or so-called learned blacks who think that people who sound like the Zanele and the asses of the world, if you would like, and them also feeling like it is whatever it is. I find such people to be embarrassing. I experience a deep shame when I encounter black people who aren't interested in their blackness and are so consumed with the pursuit of whiteness. It's there. Lihle was not wrong to call out the coonery. Zanele should not have worn it like as a personal attack or as a no, I'm saying it's you. Maybe that was the moment to go back because honestly, her take on the colonial institutions, learning institutions that she found herself in, how they work at eroding your sense of self and having you assimilate. Her take was on point, right? But this was a new angle to build on that point and to work from. And instead of doing that, we came at it very defensive. The issue is there is an issue. The children are delayed in their learning because of their diet in terms of the cocoa melon of it all, right? And then when they do start to pick up some learning, because you just want your kid to have a language of sorts so they can move in the world. When they tell you that, just let them go with this thing. You do what you think is best as a parent. And it's slowly happening. And it's like it's so insidious. Like you almost don't see it, but it's more widespread than we care to admit. Bana bakaba, guys. Okay. The children, and then it's the social media stuff. It's everywhere. The English of it all is everywhere. And if we aren't going to take pride in who we are I don't know if these kinds of things hit a lot harder for marginalized groups of people like myself. I've touched on this a little bit, right? Like I just said to you guys, Gimlobedu and stuff like that. My language is not even recognized as an official language in this very country that I'm born in, that it is very much a part of. I have tribes adjacent to me thinking they can erase me, make like I don't exist, belittle my existence, my identity through my language. So I've grown into a woman who's very like Gimlobedu, like and like this is me, this is my shit. Like you are not gonna take this from me. It's all I got left. You are not gonna take this from me, and I'll be damned if I have children and they're running around here. Like guys, I'll not chill out for like us cool. There's no such. That said, let me not do that to my brother. Honestly, Okanawa, there was one word. I was like, I don't think they're gonna hear that, but I'm so wrong. I am so wrong. Am I wrong? Guys, the coonery is there. The coonery is there, and this was a beautiful moment for them to have an exchange where things aren't so personalized and perhaps do make it personal and whatever. But my point is with us blacks is that here's the point really. If you felt that there was something to gain in learning your home language, you were gonna do it. Like I don't know how else to say that. Have you experienced when a person has just recently immigrated and they've landed somewhere and they're trying to grasp the language they can't get around for the life of them, they can't get around, and then you speak to them 2 years later and it's like, oh, this person has really got like a better command of this language that the people in this area speak, especially with the Zimbabwean people, when they find themselves in an area, our area, and they just are not grasping. And then within a year or so, they do a lot better in communicating because they need to. You don't feel the need to go back as a grown up because that was stripped and taken from you. That's not on you. Okay? But you don't feel the need in your grown ass age to say, actually, I'm gonna go learn this thing. Because really, if we're being honest, you don't feel it impedes you in any way that really matters to you. That's where the coonery shit comes from. And if it was somehow that it was taken away from you, but learning it would inch you closer to whiteness, you'd probably go back and do it. And I hate to say it, like truly, I hate to say it. And you're fine making more people that don't speak the language. And instead of saying, maybe let me see what I can do about this, you choose to get defensive about it. Right? Maybe it's rich. Guys, I literally remember one of my friends and I remember not being able to speak English. That's how easy I picked it up. I remember my first day of grade 1 saying to my brother, Nankonwa baskua. I remember this dude throwing his hand saying to my mom, Rodiaini, Rodiabian and baskua. It's come with its own problems for me, and that it delayed my reading and writing, because first I had to figure out what was being said to me in grade 1 when the other kids picked it up in grade R. I didn't have it, right? But here I am, camera on, what was cool, like, do you understand what I'm saying? But like, babe, you're cheating your fucking kids. I'm sorry. Okay? You are cheating your kids. Bye. I said I wasn't gonna judge, but goddamn. Maybe I shouldn't, because I don't got kids on my own yet. But I'm somebody's child. So silly.